What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm James and this is Clearwater Fishing, and today we're talking about Lowrance's active target and whether or not you should buy it. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I do all sorts of fishing topics including fishing technology, fishing techniques, and even how to catch your very first bass. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. So, just in case you haven't heard, Lowrance has come out with their new live sonar system, which is much better than their original one, which was a live sight, because they have purchased licensing agreements from Garmin. So that tells me this technology is going to be pretty close to the quality that Garmin Livescope is, and that should be good for us consumers. So I've already made a video whether or not I believe active target is as good as Livescope. You guys can check that out in the cards above. So there's plenty of other videos out there on YouTube displaying the Lowrance active target. Some people already have it, and congratulations to those people because it is a hefty price. So as far as cost goes, it's pretty equivalent across the board. You're gonna pretty much be paying $1,500 for the active target, for the Livescope, and even for Hummingbird's new Mega Live Imaging. And if you haven't heard about Mega Live Imaging, I'll put that video up in the cards above as well, and you guys can check that out later. The first reason I think you should get a Lowrance active target is if you already have a capable unit on your bow. This would be an easy no-brainer if you already had a HDS Carbon, an HDS Live, or the brand new Elite FS on the bow of your boat. This is a no-brainer if you want live sonar. It's going to save you, the cost of a unit, and go ahead and install it on your trolling motor or some other device on however you want to install this transducer. You already have saved yourself whatever the cost of that unit is. I'm a huge advocate of the OneBoat Network, where you can scan over certain items at the console and have those waypoints automatically transferred to the bow, the maps, or even sonar images. I think that's a fantastic thing and I completely support it. So if you're a Lowrance guy and already have Lowrance units on your boat and already have them networked together, and you're looking at live sonar and want a live sonar system, I believe active target should be in your budget at some point. Personally, I'm not a Lowrance guy. I really like Humminbirds. I've tried all three setups. I've had Humminbirds, I've had Lowrance, and I've had Garmin. I do have a Garmin Livescope and a Lowrance unit on my boat. A Humminbird, I sold it just so I could get some Livescope on my boat, but that's besides the point here. I really liked my Humminbird unit when I had it, so I'm a Humminbird guy, but hey, if you guys are a Lowrance guys, or even if you're a Garmin person, stick to what you know best. So a question I hear quite a bit, does live sonar actually help you catch more fish? Well, the answer is yes. It does help you catch more fish if you utilize it properly. Now, different fish require different techniques. So if you're not completely convinced about live sonar and whether or not you really want or need it, I want to give you some examples of some strategies that you can use to catch more fish using live sonar. So the first one is that you can use it to chase shad, balls of shad, around your lake. If you've tried to do that with your traditional fish finders, it's extremely difficult to keep on top of those shad and the bass or white bass or crappie that are feeding on them. So with live sonar, you can have it attached to your trolling motor and keep searching for a bait ball of shad or whatever the bait is in your lake. You can keep searching for those and stay on top of those shad the entire time that you want to fish them. So this is really critical in summertime fishing and extremely critical in fall fishing, because they will have these schools of bass all over these shad, and as long as you can follow them, you're going to be able to catch them. Another practical use of live sonar is locating structure. So if you have a point and you know that there's several brush piles on it, and you really don't want to graph over it and throw out a bunch of buoys, with live sonar you can pull up to the point that has all these brush piles, trees, or whatever, and have your live sonar system out, search for them. Okay, it's at about 2 o'clock here. I can make my cast at 2 o'clock and I'm going to be right on top of that structure. So it's extremely efficient to locate structure and identify key points that you should be casting at. The next strategy is really a strategy that everyone knows about, is to be able to video game fish off of main lake humps. Mostly white bass is what you're going to find out there. You can use a little slab spoon of whatever size, and you can find these schools of white bass going around humps, chasing bait balls, and you can literally video game these fish right up off the bottom. The same thing goes for crappie fishing, except for you're going to be targeting brush piles, trees, and laydowns, and you can even specifically target certain fish in that school on that laydown using live sonar. So if you see a whole bunch of smaller marks and you see a larger mark, you can specifically put your bait in front of that larger fish and catch that particular fish. Trust me, I've done it. So definitely these are 4 strategies that you can use with live sonar to help you catch more fish. And really important that if you know how to utilize these properly, you are definitely going to be loading the boat up with more fish than you ever have before. You probably shouldn't get the Lowrance active target if you're a Garmin guy or a Humminbird guy. If you're used to those units and you really like those units, I recommend sticking to those. If you're a Garmin person, go ahead and get that Livescope. It's going to work very well with you, and you already have a basis behind your systems and understand how they work. If you're a Humminbird guy, I would pump the brakes a little bit on their Mega Live imaging. I'm not convinced that it's great yet. I haven't seen any images of it anywhere. So hold on before you purchase any live sonar, because you may want to be getting Livescope or the active target. So if you're brand new to fishing technology and you really don't know what brand you're going to go with, it gets confusing on which way you want to go as far as live sonars go. And my opinion is pick one and try it out. Don't always go for the most expensive thing out there, because it's really hard to resell if you do. But if you go with a mid-range brand, such as the Elite FS, and then get the active target as well, at some point you're going to be able to sell that fairly easy, versus buying an HDS Live, which cost it 3 or 4 times more, and then trying to sell that later so you can buy a Livescope instead, or even the Humminbird Mega Live. So my advice to you is, if you really don't know what you're getting into, don't spend lots and lots of money until you really feel comfortable with a certain brand or product. So me personally, I don't plan on getting active target, not because I don't believe it's a good product, mostly because I like Humminbird units, and when my next boat, whenever I decide to get one, it's going to have Humminbird units. And if I'm not happy with the Mega Live imaging, I will have the Garmin Livescope system on there, just because I already have that, and I'll just probably transfer it to my new boat. But that's just me. That doesn't mean you guys should do the same thing. Make your own judgments on whether or not you believe active target is better than Livescope or Mega Live when it comes out. So make sure you do your research. I do think active target is a really good quality live sonar system, much better than their live sight. And if you are thinking about live sonar and you're a Lowrance guy, hands down, you should definitely get it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. But just like always, until next time, get out there and go catch you some fish.